entire planet, where there is a society of people that are called troglodytes that lives under below the under caves in the planet to dig some resource for it to be sent away in the galaxy, because apparently it's a very useful resource. And there is obviously a ruling class that cannot accept that those workers are be able to being anything but workers, and they do not have the mental capacities to think and to be participating in the government and all that. So this is pretty reflective, and Star Trek is doing some episodes like that. This is pretty reflective of the society we live in right now. The oligarchs and the billionaires and all that have won in this society and have convinced themselves that obviously they are the best one to control the society. The people is not clever enough to decide that. This is exactly the logic under the electoral college. You cannot fully let the people decide an election, because the people is not that intelligent. Of course, within that society, as within our society, not everything is done to educate the people, which would be the main solution to make them, as they claim they are them, more intelligent to be able to participate in this society. Of course, in the episode of Star Trek, they think the limits are natural, and despite being the same species, yeah, no, those people, their limits are natural, and they will never be able to achieve to be as clever as they are, even though they are educated. That no, education will have some impact, but will not render them able to fully understand the complexity of the minds, the art, the culture, the way to govern, or anything like that. And this is pretty much again, this is very reflective of the society right now. The politicians, the men in power, the oligarchs, the billionaires, even a huge part of the media just don't think that the people can choose. And I agree, many people on this planet are dumb. But the first thing you have to do for them to be able to better understand the politics and have the intelligence to be able to rule, or to have equal political power with the others, is to give them that equal political power. And then they'll see the consequences of their choice. When they have the choice to finally decide what to do with their lives, what as a community, what to do with their lives, who as a community of workers, what to do within their industry, and how should be done everything, they will choose what's best for them. And them being the people, they will choose what's best for the people. This is how a society should work. This is why the actual system is fucked up. Because when you let oligarchs decide, you don't get the benevolent ruling of benevolent oligarchs. That's completely, you must completely out of your mind if you believe that. The truth is that you get a bunch of people having all the power and doing everything to keep that power or even increase it. So what you want to do is give equal political power and equal power in all the cases for to the people, for them to be able to finally understand to finally do what is right, because they are the only one that would be able to do what is right, because their lives depends on it. Yeah, we have a strong community of people that would reinstate in France the penalty death when this is, I think, a bad idea. Let them make mistake before they finally understand what politics is. Now, right now, we are not educating them even a bit to those realities, so this will be easy for them to do some mistakes, but they will do way less mistake than what the actual government is doing right now, because they would not decide to fire thousands of employees to increase the money in the pockets of the of the CEOs and of the world, because they don't care about those CEOs. They would decide to raise their own salaries, and even in capitalist society, this would do a, a lot of good. After all, even Adam Smith told it. For a capital society to work fine, a capital economy to work fine, you need an affluent middle class. Right now, the middle class is slowly disappearing more and more and more into the poor classes. So yeah, this is a pretty good episode that is reflective of a lot of what's happening on Earth. This is reflective also of one kind of hatred that is not talked often, the hatred towards the poor. Because they're all white, so there is no hatred towards races, although they might, yeah, in the episode they consider the troglodytes, the ruling elite consider the troglodytes as another species or race or whatever, even though they are the same species. In the beginning, they just have parted ways at some point, but not enough time to be a different species in any way. The explanation of why the troglodytes are so inferior is in the end that the troglodytes are breathing some toxic materials, and that decreases the mental abilities. But even there, this is not important. They don't receive any education. This is the main component. Now, of course, you should make the workers that are working in unsafe condition be able to work in safe condition. Hell to the fuck. In the episode, they are working with their hands to mine some materials. So yeah, no, some better thing can be done, and Captain Kirk proposes to mediate and to mediate with the people and part of Starfleet that is called the industrial mm, dis- industrial modernization, something like that. And yeah, they certainly more need some modernization of the way they are industrialized. But in any case, it was a good episode. It was a good reflex of the state of our society. We should learn from that, stop the racism towards poor people, which is very prominent in our world, and finally accept that if we don't give them the chances to fucking get themselves out of their misery, of course they are going to stay there. And the few examples of the people that extract themselves from poverty are not there to say, no, no, you don't understand. This is the natural order of things. Some people win, some people lose, and the people who lose Well, it's because they're inferior. No, an entire system is preventing them to extract themselves from poverty. The system is not strong enough to prevent all people, so some do, but this is the pressure of the system. This is the fact that some is people are being born within poverty and are condemned to stay in poverty because of that so many people are poor. And this is because some people are born in wealth, that those people, despite being largely incompetent, very dumb, useless to the society, stay wealthy.